So there is no doubt innovation is so important not only for the competitiveness of the organizations but also for the growth and sustainability. But I think, and I would like your opinion, that to start innovation or before starting an innovation process, we have to develop a culture of innovation. In other words, how do we change the mindset within an organization, or is not a cultural issue that this concept of innovation?
I think you hit upon something very important. In my way of thinking, innovation has less to do with technology. Innovation is not, the hurdles to innovation is not budgetary or technology, it is really mindset. So therefore, we really need to attack mindset if we really want to get at innovation. And I would recommend 3 things companies do to really shift the mindset to have more of an innovation mindset. Number 1 is we really need to bring external voices into our company. What do I mean by that? Incorporate youth into strategy making. Empower people up and down in the organization to contribute to strategy. Bring people from outside of your industry into senior management positions. So therefore, the number 1 I say is we need to somehow bring external voices. The second thing we need to do to shift the mindset is the way we evaluate people. We cannot evaluate performance strictly based on short-term financial results. That is not going to create a climate for innovation. Therefore, we need to shift the scorecard to see how do we really bring a different scorecard to judge how well we are doing on innovation. So the first is really bringing external voices, which is really recruiting outside talent. The second is changing our performance metric and performance management system. And the third, perhaps, which is very important, is we also need to develop a global thinking and a global mindset, because innovation cannot happen just by sitting inside one country. So therefore, we need to cultivate the global mindset. By global mindset, what I mean is we need to have executives in Mexico who have a deep understanding of what is happening in the rest of the world and are able to synthesize those differences and really benefit from those differences. So those are the 3 things that I would say which can shift that mindset of the company and create a culture for innovation.
So we could say that the main resistance to change the culture for a culture of innovation could be at the top, not within the employees. So the leaders of the companies are those who have to make the biggest effort to change the way they manage, the way they lead.
I think there is a role for people at all levels in the organization, but perhaps the biggest constraint for innovation is at the top. So therefore, the top leaders, their job is not to innovate, but to create the right culture so that innovation happens. And creating the right culture essentially means we need to change our human resource policy so that we can bring young and outside talent into the organization. We need to change our performance measurement system. We need to somehow embed this global mindset that I said. These are things where the top leadership of a company can take some actions so that these things get accelerated. Therefore, I would agree the role at the top is very, very critical. That doesn't mean they're the only people who have to change, but they have a very important role.
Okay. And some people link the word innovation to technological aspects. People from other professions, like, for example, artistic or design or all those humanities, those professions, like to think in creativity, not innovation. Are those concepts, from your point of view, similar, or what's the difference between innovation and creativity?
Innovation is not creativity. Innovation is commercializing creativity. Creativity is about coming up with ideas. Innovation is about scaling the ideas into a successful enterprise. And by confusing innovation with creativity, people overemphasize idea generation and underemphasize execution. In my research, what I have found is Creativity is not that difficult. Commercializing creativity is extremely difficult. Thomas Alva Edison, the biggest innovator of all times, who co-founded General Electric, he put it well. He said innovation is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. And that 1% inspiration is creativity, and the 99% perspiration is commercializing the creativity. The biggest challenges come when you try to scale up an idea. That's when the fight for resources come. That's when the old God begins to reject the new God, etc. Therefore, I would say innovation, if it really needs to flourish in an organization, we need to understand clearly what is the culture we need to have to encourage creativity, which is one thing. But really, more importantly, what are the systems, processes, and the mindset that we need in order to take an idea and scale it into a successful business?
So that means that we could have creativity within an organization or maybe within the society, but that will not bring social and economic well-being to the people unless we link creativity to innovation. Is that what you are saying? Or?
Without a question. In fact, I would say many times you don't have to be a leader in technological breakthroughs to be a leader in innovation. Because innovation can be even borrowing creative ideas from other places, but then putting it together and scaling it into a successful business. Apple's iPod is a great example. There was no new technology in Apple's iPod. It's not even a new product because digital music existed before iPod came on the scene. But everybody would agree iPod really changed the music industry. Therefore, you can take existing ideas from any part of the world and simply have the courage and conviction to execute that idea, you would be a lot more successful. Therefore, I would say innovation many times doesn't require a lot of resources. Innovation is not about technological breakthroughs. Innovation is not about creativity. Innovation is about that long journey from creative idea to successful execution.
Finally, Dr. Govindarajan, our students in this course work in many different kind of companies and organizations. It's a group of about 400 students which are taking this course, and they have a direct the possibility of a direct implementation of the ideas that they get in these masters. I would like that you give them a final message about what they can do to make the company in which they work or the organization in which they work more competitive and more sustainable in the long term.
If I were to give one message, this is going to be a Harvard Business Review article of ours that's going to come out in July, August of this year. And the main message is for innovation, which is really commercializing creativity. For innovation to flourish, there are two very important principles that one needs to keep in mind. The first important principle is we must create a separate organization because the core business will reject innovation. Not because they are bad people, but they have a different job to do, which is really efficiency. So we need to separate people who are working on innovation. That's principle number one. Principle number two is innovation cannot succeed unless that separate group really works closely with the core business. Because after all, that innovation has to leverage some core competencies, some core assets of your established business. Therefore, it is this paradox of separation and linking. If you don't know how to master this paradox, then I don't think you are going to be successful in innovation. Simply having a separate team which is isolated from established business will not do. On the other hand, you can't ask the established business to do the innovation. That's also not going to happen. So therefore, what we call a distinct but linked organization is the model, the new management model we need to successfully execute innovation.
Well, Dr. Govindarajan, thank you very much.